Hello, dear students. We meet in this new lesson, the presenter's blueprint and the art of presentations. So how do you do it? What are the rules and tips for it? This lesson today should be a step-by-step guide to crafting and delivering unforgettable presentations. My name is Dr. Narjis Khedri, and I will be presenting this lesson today. Let's start. Number one, the first slide, or why most presentations fail and how yours won't fail. What is the secret? So a presentation is a powerful means of communication. It is how we communicate. However, innovative slide programs like PowerPoint or Canva are not enough. So those programs and applications are not enough. So you need to have more skills. So without a solid structure and confident communication skills, even the best ideas get lost. So this guide provides the blueprint for building a presentation that is clear, compelling, and effective from start to finish. Okay. Part 1, laying the foundation. What is the foundation? What is the basis? ما هو الأساس? So how to craft an introduction, and the basis is the introduction, because via the introduction you will grasp the attention of people, of the audience, whether they were students, colleagues, when you are working at a company, for example, other people you work with, clients. So it is based all on the introduction. So let's start. You must start with a welcome. You need to welcome people, like saying, for example, hello, welcome. If it is the afternoon, you would say good afternoon. If it's the morning, you would say good morning. And with thanking them for their time. For example, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today. Then you start your introduction by stating your name and position. For example, like I did before, my name is Narjis Khedri. So you say your name and who you are today. So what do you present? Are you their colleague? Are you a student? In which grade you are? And then you continue. You talk about the subject. Clearly the subject of the topic of today is da da da. So, and then the purpose, the goal or al-hadaf. So explain why this topic is important to your audience. So because, for example, because this is something we will have to think about in the future, I wanted to talk about it today. Or because my subject is very important for our studies, I choose to talk about it today. Then the timing, because sometimes people are in a hurry, they have other things to do, so you need to tell them how much this presentation will go, or how much time will it take. For example, my presentation will take about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. Then the structure, provide an outline of your main. I will talk about this. I will talk about, for example, the first part. In my presentation today, it's divided into 3 parts. So that's how you do it. And then questions and answers. Let the audience know when they can ask questions. By saying this, for example, I would appreciate it if you would save your questions until the end. And some people like to have a direct interaction. They want others to ask them while they are talking. So it's completely up to you, and you are free to do whatever you want. If you want them to interact while you are talking, you can do that. And if you want them to save their questions until the end, you're also free to do that. So those are the 7 essential components of a strong opening. This is how you introduce your presentation and opening. Right. In our next slide, we will see the building core structure, or the part 2 of our presentation today. So building the core structure, guiding your audience through the main body of your talk. Now let's get deeper a little bit. We have talked about the topic, what is it, the duration, we have welcomed people. Now let's deep dive in our Presentation. The main part of your presentation delivers the core information. So the key success to clearly signal the beginning and the end of each section. So you have to say, when you are advancing, when you're progressing, you have to say in which part you are. And this is very important. For example, when we start, we say to begin with, and then to conclude this section, because you are moving from a slide to slide. So you have to use those kinds of phrases and sentences. Like that completes the first part. So now we come to bridge between points. That concludes the second part, so let's move on to. So try to use those kinds of sentences while you are progressing. Now the guiding principle for maximum impact. How do you impact those people? How do you influence them or the audience you are talking to, you're presenting to? So the rule of the three is the introduction, we have talked about it, the main body, so tell them the information directly, and in the conclusion, you tell the audience what you have just told them. You kind of recapitulate or you summarize all the information you have given them. So bring in your data. Now, while you're in the body, in the main part of your presentation, you need to use diagrams, for example, visual maps, statistics. So all these will help, and we call them visuals. So you need to use those visuals because you know now in our century, in this AI century, so people are more visual, if we may say, and our memories became audio-visual. So we need to hear and see colors. Things are moving. That will help you. How can I say? Convince those who are the audience. So introducing a new visual. So when you introduce a new visual, you would say on the next slide you can see a picture. If you want them to focus on a detail, you would say, let's look at the figure on this slide, for example. If you want them to comment or you are commenting on the content, so looking at this graph, it's interesting to note that. So try to use those kinds of phrases while you are presenting. Okay, let's move on. So how to end your presentation? Coming to the conclusion or adding finishing touch with a powerful and memorable, the four essential components of a strong closing. Let's start by number one. Here is to signal the end. When you come to the end, tell them that you are coming to the end or that we are finishing in 1 moment or 2. So that ends the third part. For example, you would say this kind of phrases. That ends the third part of my talk. So that's all I'm going to say about. Or you can also summarize and conclude, like briefly restate your main points and draw logical conclusions. For example, so to sum up, I'll end by emphasizing the main points. Or, so what we need to know now is, and then you have to thank the audience. You have thanked them the first time in the introduction. Now you have to also thank them when finishing or closing. So, for example, thank you for your attention. Then invite them for questions. Open the floor for discussion. Like now, I would be interested to hear your comments, or we have 20 minutes for discussion, for example. That was all I have to say today about the presentation and the art of presenting. Here are some references for further reading, or if you want to look for more references or resources about the topic. And if you have any questions, please you can ask them down the comment section. Thank you for your attention and have a good day or a good evening, depending on at what time you are listening to this video. Bye bye and take care.